Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Physician in the Kitchen, where we talk about food, health, and living your healthiest life through the power of plants. I'm your host, Dr. Monique, plant-based board-certified physician you know as the Physician in the Kitchen. My mission is to fix America's health one plate at a time, and I help people discover, cook, and eat delicious plant-based foods. Today's video is the very first episode of hashtag Ask Dr. Monique, where I answer your real questions, folks just like you who have emailed us questions, and I answer them about nutrition, healthy aging, and plant-based living. I love this series because chances are, if you have the question, then at least one other person, if not hundreds of others, have had that question too. So let's get started. All right, so question one is from Jan. Thank you, Jan, for being our very first participant. So Jan asks, I do not cook with oil and avoid overly oily foods as much as possible. Unfortunately, I find my skin is very dry and flaky, particularly my face. What foods other than processed oils contribute to maintaining healthy skin? Well, Jan, that is an excellent question. One of the biggest misconceptions is that if your skin is dry, you need to eat more oil. But the truth is, healthy skin actually depends on much more than just fat alone. Dry skin is often lacking in water, not just oil. So your skin needs healthy fats, vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, all the things, and plenty of hydration. So some of my favorite foods for healthy skin include, you guessed it, they're plant-based. So things like ground flaxseed, chia seeds, walnuts, avocados, soy foods such as tofu, tempeh, or edamame. These foods provide healthy fats that support your skin barrier. But don't forget about vitamin C. Vitamin C helps your body to make collagen, which gives your skin structure and elasticity. Great sources of that are going to be strawberries, oranges, kiwi, bell peppers, and broccoli. Aren't you glad I didn't just say oranges? You know, I cannot resist a corny food pun. But then there are also colorful vegetables such as carrots, sweet potatoes, pumpkins, and leafy greens, which are going to be rich in the antioxidant beta-carotene, which is another nutrient that helps to support healthy skin. Vitamin E also plays an important role. You find that in things like almonds and sunflower seeds. But again, don't underestimate hydration. Drink enough water, but also eat foods that are rich in hydration, such as cucumbers, watermelon, tomatoes. You get the gist. But here's an important point. If your skin suddenly becomes much drier than usual, or you also notice other things such as excess fatigue or constipation, hair loss, or unexplained weight changes, don't assume it's just your diet. Dry skin can sometimes be a symptom of your thyroid acting up, either hypo or underactive thyroid, or certain nutritional deficiencies. So if you're concerned, always check in with your doctor to get checked out. And from time to time, splurge on a facial or DIY at home to help keep that youthful dewy glow. So thank you, Jan, for question number one. Question number two comes to us from Napoleon, and he actually has a threefer. So we're going to jump right in. Number one is, what is the healthiest oil? So this might actually surprise some people. I actually encourage getting most of your fat from whole foods instead of just extracted oils. Why? Because the whole foods come packaged with fiber, vitamins, minerals, and other beneficial plant compounds. Think about it. If you eat walnuts, you're getting all the things in the walnut: the fat, the fiber, the protein, magnesium, and antioxidants. Same thing for flaxseed, chia seeds, etc. But if we're talking about oil and cooking with oil, extra virgin olive oil tends to have the best research behind it as far as being heart healthy when used in moderation. Avocado, sunflower, sesame, and flaxseed oils also get honorable mentions as well. But again, the key phrase is in moderation. More isn't necessarily better. In general, unsaturated oils are better for you than saturated oils such as coconut oil, butter, or ghee, which are solid at room temperature. So when they're sitting on your countertop, they tend to be solid versus liquid. Hope that helps. His next question is plant-based protein enough? Absolutely. One of my favorite things I tell people is, name the biggest animal on the planet. It's an elephant. Elephants eat trees. They don't eat other animals. So yes, if you can grow to be as large as an elephant, you can certainly get enough protein from plants. And this is probably the most common question I get asked. And it's easier than you think to get enough protein from a plant-based diet. This is kind of, you've heard me say this before if you watched any of my other shows, but beans, lentils, chickpeas, tofu, nuts, seeds, quinoa, you get it. These foods provide plenty of protein for most adults. And in fact, most Americans eat far more protein than they need. It's interesting. They say that men eat about 30% more than they need, and women is about 12%. But what most people are missing is actually fiber. The American diet is woefully lacking in enough fiber, which of course is a complex carb. And when you eat plants, you get both the protein and the carbs. So as long as you're eating enough calories and a variety of whole food plant-based foods throughout the day, you'll almost certainly hit your protein targets. So I do have to stop here and give you what the recommended dietary allowance or RDA is for protein. So for adults, the recommendation is 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight or 0.36 grams per pound. That is way too much math. Let's keep it simple. If you eat 3 meals a day, aim for about 20 to 25 grams of protein in each meal. Some experts do recommend higher protein intake as we age to help preserve muscle mass and support metabolism. So that may mean aiming for closer to 25 to 40 grams of protein per meal. But as always, be sure to check with your doctor and or dietitian before undertaking or making major changes to your diet. People with malnutrition or conditions such as HIV or cancer may need more protein. And Napoleon's last question is there a path to getting off of medications? And I absolutely love this question because the answer is sometimes. So for conditions such as high blood pressure, diabetes, particularly type 2 diabetes, and high cholesterol, we always recommend people start with a healthy lifestyle because we know that by making changes in your lifestyle, you can dramatically improve your numbers. But sometimes surgery is needed. We'll talk a little bit more about that in just a second. But for some people, medications, and if they make those changes, can be reduced or even completely eliminated. I tell a quick story. I used to have a patient when I was in practice. Her magic number was 50 pounds. When she was motivated and life was good, she'd come in, she lost 50 pounds. Blood pressure was chef's kiss. Wouldn't need blood pressure medications. However, when life was lifing, things were kind of, she's juggling a lot of different things and she gained the weight back. She'd need to go back on her blood pressure medicine. So I thought that was a very stark example of someone who definitely could see the effect of what her lifestyle was doing to her blood pressure by affecting her weight. So if you are fortunate and you can make the lifestyle changes and stop your medication, so be it. But here's the important part. Don't stop them on your own. If you think you're doing better and you want to see how things are without your medication, please, please, please go in and talk to your doctor and come up with a plan to try that. Typically what we would do is kind of titrate down or decrease downward, and then that way we can see how you would do coming completely off of it. And I mentioned surgery earlier. So everyone, of course, knows about weight loss surgery, right? For people who are struggling or suffering with extreme obesity, we do have surgery that can go in and help with the weight loss, and then a lot of times they can get off medication. But my personal story with high blood pressure and surgery, and be sure to go and check out my other videos about this because I talk about my experience. But I had been diagnosed with high blood pressure in my 30s, so at least almost 25 years ago. And lifestyle changes weren't really a big issue for me because my weight was good. I didn't smoke. I exercised. I do, though, have a family history. My mom has high blood pressure. But it was not until last year that I was diagnosed with a condition called primary hyperaldosteronism, which is a condition where one of my adrenal glands was putting out too much hormone, aldosterone, and I had to have it surgically removed. And just like that, my blood pressure over a matter of months normalized to the point where I'm actually off medication now. So I still have to be monitored for it because I am 56. So as you get older, your risk for high blood pressure goes up. Plus, I still have the family history. I still have the fact that my mom has it. And if you have a first degree relative with high blood pressure, your risk goes up by 50%. So I still need to be monitored, but it is so nice to be off of medication after over 20 years. So And if you're concerned, if you think you may possibly have that condition, certainly talk to your doctor about it. So, the answer to the question is, can you get it off medications? And the answer certainly is sometimes, and I encourage you to do what you can to take control of your health. Lastly, we have Nancy with an I. I love that. And Nancy asks, what should I do as I get older? I am 58. Well, Nancy, first of all, congratulations. 1, for getting older, and 2, for asking this question. Now, healthy aging isn't just about denying the steady march of the calendar. It's about maintaining your health so you can enjoy it for years to come. So some of my favorite recommendations are, you guessed it, eating mostly whole food plant-based meals, including protein in every meal like we talked about to help preserve muscle, strength training at least 2 to 3 times every week. Research consistently shows that strength training is one of the best ways to preserve muscle, improve balance, maintain independence, and even reduce the risk of falls as we age. And falling and having hip fractures is a leading cause of loss of independence, hospitalization, nursing home admissions, and even death. So that's super important. Move every day. Staying active is one of the most powerful things you can do to age well. Not saying you have to go out and run a marathon, but move as much as your body allows you to. Get adequate sleep. If you're supposed to be getting at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep, super, super important. Manage your stress, stay socially connected, and I don't mean by being on your phone, but actually face-to-face interacting with friends, family, and loved ones. And keep learning new things. While I was recuperating from my surgery last year, I started doing Sudoku, and now I'm obsessed. But it's a great way to keep your brain active. So your brain loves a challenge, so give it something. Try to, learn a new language, learn to take up an instrument, something new that you haven't done, or go back to something you used to do and get better at it. And don't skip your preventative screenings. I wouldn't be a family doc if I didn't put in a plug for getting your mammograms, your colonoscopies, your eye exams, all the things. So I hope you enjoyed this very first episode of hashtag Ask Dr. Monique. I know I did. If I answered one of your questions today, thank you so much for sending it in. And if I didn't answer yours, don't worry. This is only the first of many, many, many episodes. Leave your nutrition, healthy eating, cooking, plant-based, or healthy aging questions in the comments below. Your question might be featured in an upcoming episode. So if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who could use it, and also subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell so that you don't miss the next one. Until next time, remember, food is one of the most powerful medications we have, and every healthy choice you make today is an investment in your future you. So until next time, I'm Dr. Monique, physician in the kitchen, and I'll see you in the next video. Eat well.